But with Chris Paul being available now, it might change the direction. And one team that keeps being brought up is the New York Knicks. And a lot of people are asking, well, why are the Knicks being brought up? The Knicks already solved their point guard issue. They have Jalen Brunson. We don't need an aging Chris Paul anymore. So why would the Knicks even entertain this move? The Knicks would entertain this move because of how close of a relationship Chris Paul and Leon Rose have. Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go back to when Chris Paul was part of OKC. In this report, the following is noted. Leon Rose once represented Oklahoma City Thunder star Chris Paul, and now he has the power to bring Paul to the New York Knicks. This is from Mark Berman, this next part. Mark Berman also reported at the time that Chris Paul adores Leon Rose, and that Rose had been intrigued when the Houston Rockets at the time made Chris Paul available to New York in a swap. There is history between Leon Rose and Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul may be aging. You're right about that. But if Chris Paul accepted less money and came to the Knicks and came off the bench, not saying it would happen, but let's just play with this hypothetical here and say because of the relationship and because of the connection, Leon Rose goes after Chris Paul. If Chris Paul is added to a bench, any bench in the NBA, let alone the New York Knicks bench, he is automatically up there for Sixth Man of the Year. That's how good Chris Paul is. Now he's aging. He's broken down a little bit. He can't shoot as well as he used to. Now Chris Paul has never been a knockdown three-point shooter, but he's been pretty good. But over the course of the years, as he's gotten older, that three-point percentage has gone down. Now, he's still a mid-range assassin, and he can still make those mid-range shots. He's a very, very good passer, so he knows how to make people involved. He knows how to get the team around him involved, and he knows how to make the right play and pass depending on who's playing with him. And we've already seen him go to these young franchises and elevate those teams to make them better and more competitive because of the will and that fire that Chris Paul brings to every single team he joins. So even though he doesn't have some of the great gifts as he used to have in terms of his game and his play, he's still a leader. He's still respected. He's still a Hall of Famer, still an all-star, and he can still complement any team he joins depending on what his role is. If Chris Paul can come off the bench, I am all for the New York Knicks going to get Chris Paul, depending on how much it would cost to get those services. I don't see a problem with the New York Knicks going after Chris Paul if the money's right, if the role is right, and if the fit is right. I have no problem with it. But being really honest and realistic here, I don't think the New York Knicks are going to go after Chris Paul, and I don't think Chris Paul is going to be a New York Knick next season. If you're enjoying the content, please go ahead and subscribe here to the Knicks Recap Clips channel and have notifications turned on. Also, be sure to subscribe to the main Knicks Recap channel as well too. That way you never miss any new content created. Make sure you leave a comment below and we'll catch you again on the next video. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.